Well, hello shell buddies, and welcome back to the channel. I am working on compiling video beach reports, sort of, about some of the damage and things that have happened to the local beaches since Idalia came through. So this little series of videos is going to be about individual beaches that I visited since she got past us on Thursday. Well, Wednesday, but Thursday is when we went out. So you're going to see stuff on Lido, Longboat, Coquina, Anna Maria Island, Pasa Grill, and Sunset Beach Treasure Island, which we have now learned has since kind of been closed off since the day we were there on Thursday, because they did have a pretty significant amount of damage, as did the bottom of Pasa Grill, losing some major dune area, and all the sand that supported the little walkovers is gone on the other sides of the peninsulas in the road. Things are a little messed up, but nowhere near as bad as it could have been. We got a side swipe, and it was a good one, but it could have been 1,000 times worse, as anybody who lives here and was here last year is very well aware. So yeah, we're gonna knock on wood and say, all right, you know what, we can deal with a little lost sand right now. Anyway, we're going to go check out one of the first places I tried to get to following Idalia, Lido Key, which was closed off because the bridges to all the barrier islands were closed because of the storm surge. So when we initially tried to get out to Lido, we couldn't actually get out there, so we ended up going back and trying again and being able to go out there. And without the barrier islands open, we couldn't see Anna Maria Island, we couldn't see Holmes Beach, Coquina Beach, we couldn't see Longboat Key, we couldn't see Lido. You couldn't get out to Pinellas or DeSoto, like to DeSoto or to Sunset or Pasa Grill. Like at first, because of the storm surge issues, everything was sort of restricted. And then Thursday, things started opening up. Friday, things started opening up a little more. Then Saturday, things started closing back down. Anyway, let's go take a look at Lido Key and see what went on out there. In this compilation video, I'm also going to be including my very short 2 to 4 minute updates that I was giving as things were happening, but did not have the time to edit, so that I couldn't give you the full picture. So the smaller report will be contained in this larger report. Well, hello shell buddies, and welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to give you a little update on what things are looking like on this part of the Gulf Coast of Florida. We have made it through Idalia. She is well past us, made landfall upstate, and we have passed the high tide point now, where the water is starting to come back down. That being said, you cannot access any of the beaches because you cannot get to any of the barrier islands. The bridges to everything are closed. We had significant storm surge, especially last night and again this morning around lunchtime, and a number of bridges to all the barrier islands around us are closed. You can't get out to Lido, you can't get out to St Armands, you can't get out to Longboat, you can't get out to Anna Maria, you can't get out to Pasa Grill, you can't get out to Sunset Beach, you can't get to St. Pete, you cannot get to Fort DeSoto. So, from what little bit that we were able to see driving around, damage looks pretty minimal as far as from wind and trees down, things like that. Really not seeing any sort of major damage that way. A little bit of branches and tree leaves down, a little bit of debris on the road where the roads were topped over by water, and we cannot yet see the beaches to see how bad things actually got. I do know that the sheriff's office posted pictures this morning from Anna Maria Island with houses that looked like they had about 4 feet of water in them, and that water rescues were taking place above Tampa Bay this morning. So I don't think I'm going to be shelling tomorrow unless they reopen the beaches. The governor said there's 1,000 bridges that need to be looked at before they go ahead and say, yes, everything is all right. I mean, we're talking the Skyway Bridge got closed. The Courtney Campbell Bridge got closed. The Howard Franklin Bridge got closed. And we actually saw the storm surge topping over half of the Howard Franklin Bridge on camera this morning. So, Gulf is still churned up. In Sarasota, the water level was a good 3 feet above where it belonged. We had some docks underwater and a few things like that. Overall, nowhere near as bad as it could have been, nowhere near as bad as it was upstate. And hopefully, within a few days, we'll get things pretty much back to normal around here. Thanks for checking back in, and I'll update you again soon. We're in Sarasota behind the Van Wezel. Still got pretty high water levels over here, but damage is fairly minimal, honestly. We're seeing a little bit of, down branches and crap from the palm trees and stuff like that. Here's downtown by the boat ramp in Sarasota. A little bit of flooding in the parking lot. Some of the docks on the other side are at water level or just under, and the water's quite high. So there's a little bit of a mess to pick up. Not a huge mess. It's not horrific. Nothing like Ian, that's for sure. Thank God for small favors. But yeah, it's a little messy. Yep, the side thing is underwater.
There's a couple of boats that got pushed in.
Yep, there sure are. Little sailboat. The bay is very high still. It's at least 2 to 3 feet higher than it should be. And wind gusts ain't no joke. Alright, the bridge to get over to St. Armands is open, but the actual bridge to St. Armands at Bird Key is blocked and closed. The water level here at the seawall is right at the top. And tide has actually been on its way down now for well over an hour, so we still have about 3 extra feet, it looks like, because most of the time there's big old rocks exposed out here and they're all covered. So yeah, flooding definitely. Here comes the first one. Oh yeah, their dock's underwater too. Up El Conquistador to see how things closer to the bay fared. There's a lot of debris in the road, but the canals are empty. It looks like the drainage system did its job and did it very well. So that is good news for a lot of the folks over here, because some of this is a little low-lying.
Some standing water here.
I mean, other than a bit of leaves and little crappy pieces of tree branch, there's really not a lot down at all. So that's kind of good news. What are you doing, dude? Oh, they're emergency workers, okay. The wind is still ripping though.
We're in a band.
Yeah, I'm impressed. The canals did a great job over here, and they're not sitting all full of stuff. It's amazing. Well, hello, show buddies, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, we've got another update for you today on beach conditions around the area following Hurricane Idalia. Almost called a tropical storm. My goodness. Okay, so the barrier islands have opened again. You can now get onto Anna Maria, you can get onto Longboat, you can get onto Lido. Now, we went out to Lido this morning as well. Oh my gosh. The little point on the end of Lido Key has been extended, and at low tide you can get further out there than I think I've ever seen before. We found all kinds of cool stuff today out there at Lido, but Longboat was a mess. Longboat was pretty bad. Lido Beach, though, definitely worth going. When you get to Lido, there's stuff in the rack line. There doesn't seem to be a lot of stuff in the water because it's now all up on the sand. Things have been leveled off a little bit, and a whole bunch of new sand is there at the bottom. I've never seen it like this before. And there was 5 or 6 rack lines. There's stuff in the dunes, in the seaweed up there. There's a very high line. There's a next higher line. There's a mid line. There's a low line. There's lots and lots of stuff to look through there. So we found some moon snails and some biting conchs today and some whelks. And we will show the footage of this. I need 5 minutes to be able to sit down and edit because I've shot an immense amount of footage the last few days. Just, you know, checking on places, going places, and seeing what the conditions look like. Crossing over the Ringling Causeway, getting out to Lido St Armands. Last time we tried this, the bridge in front of us at Bird Key was closed. Last night it opened, and everybody's coming out to St Armands today. Landscapers and cement trucks and people checking on their houses and people like us checking on the beach. Well, that's a good sign, babe. Traffic's still moving. This was where we had to stop last time.
Yep.
And just because this is open doesn't necessarily mean we can get out to Sperling and South Beach, but
North Beach.
yeah, if we can't get to the South Beach, we'll try the North one, and if not, we'll see if we can get on the longboat at least.
Yeah, this was all underwater.
Oh, yes. And I mean, there's just a little bit of branch stuff down that hasn't been picked up yet, but it's already by the street, so not a wind event. Completely a water storm surge event. Yep, there's the smell we were expecting. Unpleasant. Is the park open?
Yep, I see cars back there.
Okay.
Gates are open.
Truck kind of in the way made me sort of wonder.
Gates are open.
All right. And yeah, this little spot has actually a lot less water than I would have thought.
They're pumped too, I bet.
It might be, yeah. Oh no, that's the signboard. He's reprogramming the signboard. There's some ibises. Okay, we got a bit of water still in the parking lot. All right, do we want to come and park up here?
Yeah,
or
let's
park
walk around.
from the top or from there?
Over there.
Okay. Whoa, big puddles in the parking lot. All right, there is obviously some stuff that got washed around here. We can see. And there's some good-looking rack lines.
Oh, look at those. It's so fine. It's not.
Well, that's because it's early, and that's why sunrise shelling is nice. It's usually the calmest time.
Yeah, but over here it's usually a little rougher.
And it packed the sand down, too. It makes it easier to walk out here. This is nice. No, thank you. They'll probably have groomed up on the end, but not near the water. What? No, there's no grooming marks. That's just the tires from the Turtle Patrol and Beach Patrol people. They drive around on that Defender thing. Well, that's a rack line. We're not usually a hot spot right here anyway, but there is quite a bit of stuff on the beach to look at. Wow.
Okay.
All right, keep your eyes open for moons, because this place is usually good for moon snails after a wash-in. Right now, I see a lot of busted stuff and a lot of scallops, and oh, you just walked right by one almost. There's a moon.
I did not. And coral.
Nice. Look at the size of the point, John. There's so much new sand. Oh, wow. Now here's where you can see where water running and moving will do its thing. And you can see clearly there was ripples and movement through all of that as it probably tried to drain out of that central area, which before this was not full of water at all. And there is alive stuff all over the place just under our feet. See all those little tracks? Little crab tracks, little snail tracks. Here's one right here. It's a little seraph, but I think it has a hermit crab in it. Hey, buddy. How are you? So if you look at this layer, this is nothing but sand and shell, mostly shell, all through there. And it really carved up there. And I cannot believe how far those people are out on that point. That is insane how much new sand is over there. These Lido shell piles, though. Wow. Have you taken a look behind this bank where all this new water is, honey?
Not now. Let's go up there first. There's the cutest one.
Oh, it's a little tiny sand dollar. Okay. Right about where I'm standing is about where the point started to turn. And we would be just about at the end right now. Except we're not. This is wild. Looking forward to going back through some older footage and comparing these two. Hey, birdie buddy. What's up, little guy? Aw. Shell-wise, it's not as good over here. This point has gotten huge. Wow. I can't believe how far out we are. Wow. This is incredible. Finding anything good, babe?
Oh, yeah. See?
Wow. Nice. Alphabet cone. That's your first one?
Yep.
Very cool. So we're out here on this point now where all this sand and shells are. All this new area that we could never get to before. But the tide is coming back in, so I can't really get out in this yet. The confluence and the currents are pretty bad here. Get back in a little ways. So yeah, the shape of Lido is completely changed again. And there's literally piles of shells everywhere we look. There's olives in front of me. Bunches. Here's one, and here's one.
I wonder how big he was.
Oh my.
Guess what?
Did you find another cone?
Another cone.
Wow.
Good one. Just like the last one.
I just picked up 5 olives. All right, got the battery changed. Let's keep on looking. All right, time to head over to the Gulf side, I guess. I don't want to pester the birds, but I also don't want to leave this shell pile I'm on, so hopefully they'll tolerate me. Usually they do, because I don't move very fast, so I don't usually bother them. Alright, so here's some of this stuff washed out when the water was higher. And there's still some water kind of trapped back here. Wow. big bird feet tracks everywhere I look. Oh, there is an enormous whelk in that water. But I don't want to go in there and get it. But there it is right there in the middle. So yep, Lido is open. South Lido Beach Park is open. Parking lot is not quite entirely cleaned up just yet from the flooding. It was fairly significant here as well. And I don't think the showing is as great as it was at Paso Grill and Sunset yesterday, but it was pretty good and we were pretty pleased. So, quite a surprise to see how much additional sand got brought to Lido. Especially when you see the next few videos in this series that are coming and you see how much sand was actually removed from other areas very close by. And this was just a teaser for the shelling video that will be done for this location as well. That's going to take me a lot more editing. And right now I'm just trying to get everybody some information on what the beaches look like in case you'd like to go now that the storm's over. Well, thanks for tuning in for this beach update. And notice you'll see my little Anna Maria hat and my Crystal River shirt. Love to all Floridians who have had to deal with impacts of Idalia. I'm sorry for everybody for having to go through this, especially for the folks upstate. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.